Hi Gemini, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your monthly report for the month of March. It's been quite a time in this new age of Aquarius, and for you, much of the Aquarian energy has been in your house of learning and teaching and promotion and publicity. At the end of 2021, both Saturn and Jupiter ingressed into the sign of Aquarius. Jupiter is the planet of expansion and wisdom and good fortune, and it's going to be transiting in this house of higher learning and promotion and life experience on and off for you until December 29th. Saturn, which is how we anchor our goals and ground ourselves, is going to be transiting in Aquarius until March 7th of 2023, really grounding you through your learning, through empirical experience, through manifesting in a challenging time, through finding hope in difficulty, and learning and teaching and honing those skills. And you're a perennial student, so I would think that you enjoy that process. And at the beginning of the month, Mars enters your sign on March 3rd, and it'll be transiting there until April 23rd. And this means you'll be really busy. Mars takes approximately 2 years to transit, and it's in your house of new beginnings and self. This is excellent for initiating new beginnings with your work, with your exercise regimen, with your relationships, anything you want to put focus on. There is quite a bit of focus in your house of career because the Sun and Venus and Neptune are transiting in that house as you begin the month, but you also have a lot of emphasis on learning and manifesting and finding optimism, as well as marketing yourself and promoting yourself. And if you're single, Mars transiting in your first house in the sign of Aries is great for meeting new people and expanding your social circle the next month or so approximately, but also it's really good for getting things done and for accomplishing things. And on that date, Venus forms a sextile to Uranus, and that's very innovative and creative energy. On the 4th of March, Mercury, which is the planet of communication, meets up with Jupiter at 17 degrees of Aquarius. And this occurs in your house of learning and belief systems. And this is a really excellent manifesting energy. That's an excellent date for targeting interviews, or if you want to schedule an appointment, if you want to brainstorm with somebody, if you have something you need to write, if there's a marketing campaign, if there's a first date that you want to go on. This is excellent energy for all forms of socializing, learning, manifesting, and communication. And it's a really optimistic energy. On the 10th of March, the Sun meets up with Neptune in Pisces at 20 degrees of Pisces in your house of career. This can be very depleting energy. It also can be very creative. Pisces is a highly creative sign, and it rules your midheaven, your house of career. And on that date, the moon meets up with Jupiter in Aquarius at 12:58 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in your house of manifesting. So this is a really good day for doing manifesting work, even if you do need to get rest. It's good for doing creative projects, but definitely good for manifesting and recharging. On the 13th of March, there is a new moon that takes place at 5:21 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at 23 degrees and 4 minutes of Pisces. And this falls in your house of career. And this is an excellent new moon for initiating intentions for any life ambitions you have. Definitely for your professional life, but for other life goals that you may have. Later that day, Venus, which is exalted in Pisces and is transiting in that house, meets up with Neptune at 11:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That can be very sensitive and emotional energy, but again, really good for manifesting. In order to manifest, we need to believe it's possible. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus and is very creative together, very loving, very romantic, very creative, very good for partnering with others on professional projects. On the 15th of March, Mercury enters the sign of Pisces and will be transiting there until April 4th in your house of career. It's technically in its detriment because it rules the opposite sign of Virgo, but it's still, transiting in your house of career and bringing more action to that area of your chart. On the 17th of March, Mars, which is transiting in the sign of Aries, Chiron, which is the wounded healer, is forming a sextile to Mars in your sign. And Chiron is transiting in your house of friends and groups. And this is a good day for doing energy work and healing work with friends or in a group situation if possible, or healing issues with friendships and relationships themselves. On the 18th of March, we have a really nice day for love. We have Venus transiting in Pisces where it's exalted. It forms a sextile to Pluto, the planet of transformation. And Pluto's transiting in your house of intimacy and joint resources. And Venus sextiling Pluto is a very transformative and empowering and passionate energy, good for love, very good for financial and creative projects because Pluto's transiting in your financial house and Venus is transiting in your professional house, but also good for romance. The aspect becomes exact at 1:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also on that date, the moon is in Taurus where it's exalted, and the moon makes good aspects to Neptune and Venus, so very romantic, creative, and spiritual energy. On the 20th of March, we have the spring equinox when the sun is exactly above the equator, and we have equal day and equal night, and the sun is going to be entering your 11 friends and groups where it'll be transiting until April 19th. And this is great energy for you for networking. The sun shines in whatever house it's in, so it's very good for your social life, but also good for seeking enlightenment and working in a group capacity. And on that date as well, we have the sun meeting up with Chiron at a wide orb, at 8-degree orb, but pronouncing the wounds with friendships and with the community that we're all within, because obviously this has been a very difficult time in the world. And Venus is also conjunct Neptune that day at an 8-degree orb, which is a wide orb in your house of creativity and life goals. And I think, trying to go for the creative pursuit with this, but also honoring the sensitivity and the loss and the pain that we've all experienced in the last year. On the 23rd of March, we have Mercury squaring Mars in the sky, and that can be a bit combative, but can be good for getting things done. On the 25th of March, we have a very good day for love, depending on where you live. It's either at 11:58 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or at 2:58 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 26th. Venus and Sun meet up at 5 degrees of Aries. And this is really nice energy in your house of friends and groups and networking and enlightenment. Excellent if you're single. Excellent if you're not. Good for networking. Good for all sorts of projects you can consider. I mean, this is a really nice energy. And on that date, Mercury also forms a really brilliant, innovative sextile to Uranus. And this is really good for brainstorming and, working with others. On the 28th of March, we have a full moon that takes place at, at 2:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at 8 degrees and 18 minutes of the mutable Earth sign of Virgo. And this full moon is going to be a difficult one because Venus is going to be conjunct Chiron in the sky in Aries, in your house of friends and groups. So there could be problems with relationships or wounds in that area. And this full moon is also setting off where the lunar eclipse took place on November 30th at 8 degrees and 38 minutes of Gemini. So that could be a day of endings or challenges with relationships. On the 29th of March, we have Venus meeting up with Chiron, the wounded healer, and that could also bring wounds around relationships. But in the same vein, or the Sun is meeting up there as well, actually, and Venus is still conjunct Chiron, and that also pronounces the wounds we're all feeling. But Mercury is forming a helpful aspect to Neptune, which could be good for uncovering the wounds and doing healing work. On the 30th of March, we have Venus working in harmony with Saturn to help structure our relationships and give us contentment. And on the 31st, we have the Sun forming a sextile to Saturn, hopefully helping to structure us. So there's a lot going on. It is a busy time for you with Mars transiting in your sign, a lot of socializing, a lot of professional goals, and I wish you a lot of luck, Pisces. Thank you very much. Take care.